Cardano is a crypto that I've been particularly bullish on over the last few years. And for those of you who have followed the channel, you've seen dozens, if not hundreds of videos on this channel about Cardano. But recently, there's been a lot of negative news stories. There's been a lot of negative catalysts and just, a lot of FUD coming out for Cardano that I want to address in this video. So we're going to go over if these stories and if these, data sets are relevant, or if you should not be paying attention to them at all. And also, we're going to go over some major altcoins that I recently invested in. So when we're looking at the overall crypto market right now, we can see that Bitcoin has had a bit of a correction over the last few days. Bitcoin had surpassed $73,000 per coin, and it had entered a price discovery mode. But as we drew and as we talked about in our previous videos, one thing to keep an eye out on was that this $69,100 per coin level on the weekly charts. And actually, we saw a rejection at this level. So Bitcoin has never closed above $70,000 per coin on the weekly charts, and we saw a massive rejection all the way back down to this key support that we had right here, which was at $60,650 per token. We have not changed any of these lines in any of our previous videos, and you could go ahead and check those out. So right now, we really are just trading sideways, and I expect us to continue trading sideways for the next few weeks until the Bitcoin halving in between that $69,000 per coin range and that $60,000 per coin range, because that has acted as key levels not only in this cycle, but also in our last bull market cycle as well. So if you're looking to get into a trade right now, I'd be very careful with leveraged crypto trading, but personally, I think it is a good spot to be accumulating because we have seen about a 17 to 18% pullback from that record high we hit of around $73,000 per coin, and historically entering around, that 20% correction mark during a bull market has historically proven to be pretty profitable. So that's something just to keep in mind. I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Blackfort. Blackfort, symbol BXN, is a layer 1 EVM core blockchain that has implemented its proprietary POSA, which stands for Proof of Stake Authority. Its multi-currency wallet just surpassed 130,000 downloads, and the cool thing about BXN is it's set to list on major exchanges very soon. They've been counting it down on their website for a while. BXN within the Blackfort ecosystem has both on-chain and off-chain utilities. On-chain BXN is used for transaction processing, decentralized voting, and enabling community engagement through smart contracts for security and transparency. But off-chain, it supports mobile wallets, payment solutions, and tokenization of assets. So this approach is designed to generate significant utility for their native layer 1 token BXN. There are 1.1 million transactions to date, 116,000 active wallet addresses, 7 million blocks produced successfully, and it's continuing to grow very rapidly. So with all the transaction for BXN, it has gained this before it even launched, and now that it's set to launch, I think there is a lot of potential for this project in the future. They have plans for real estate tokenization, e-money services, payment solutions for BNB, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. So use the link in the description, check out BXN and their up-and-coming listing very soon. Anyways, let's get back to the program. Next thing we need to go over is going on with what's happening with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, because for those of you who haven't followed the channel, I usually talk about this as a pretty good indicator for when you should be buying, when you should be selling. And right now we are in the greed territory at 75. But historically, whenever you are in extreme greed, at extremely elevated levels, well, that's usually a good time to be selling some crypto, taking some profits. So right now, we did see that bit of a correction. When we hit extreme greed, we got almost to 90 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. That was a good time to take profits. We had spoken about that before. Anytime you have ever gotten above 90, historically is a very good time to take profits. So right now, we have seen a bit of a correction. So again, this is just another sign that, we may see a bit more downside in the next few weeks, but long-term, looking at what's going on in the bull market, this could probably be a good point of entry to dollar cost average, add some more to your positions. Now let's talk about what's been going on with Cardano, because recently I've seen a lot of articles like bad-mouthing Cardano, saying it's not a good project, it's a dead blockchain, and there is some validity to these claims. So if we look at one thing in particular, is that we could see that Cardano holders making money at the current price. There's 53% of Cardano holders are making money, 43% are not, and then 4% are just basically break even. So this is something that isn't talked about enough. When you're looking at crypto tokens, a lot of people are saying, look, most of the holders are in the profit now. Most of the holders are losing money. And this is something that I think people need to look at more, because right now, if you look at Cardano, it's trading right around 60 cents per token. If you look at the charts, right around that 60 cents per token mark. It's just above a key resistance of 57, 58 cents per token. But in terms of what's going on with this tokens, I've seen a lot of negative stories coming out, just focusing on the people who are losing money. The article said nearly 50% of Cardano holders are losing money, have lost money since where they bought in. And yeah, that may be the case, but the thing you got to remember with this is it's not just for Cardano, it's with countless other altcoins. If you're looking at coin market cap and you look at the top altcoins, Solana isn't at a record high. It's nowhere near its record high. You can see that Avalanche, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, all these tokens are extremely lower than their record highs, most of them by more than 50%. So it would make sense that there's a high percentage of holders who are not making money on them. If you look at many of these other projects like Avalanche, like Solana, they are similar in terms of the fact that people who bought during the last bull market, maybe who held through, are not in the profit either. So when people are saying that nearly 50% of Cardano holders are losing money, I would say, look, yeah, that may be true, but it's not like it's so different from many other altcoins. We haven't reached record highs for altcoins just yet. We've really only seen Bitcoin hit a record high. Ethereum hasn't hit a record high. Solana hasn't. Cardano hasn't. Avalanche hasn't. Like, these things are pretty standard for what's going on in the overall market. Next thing I want to address with Cardano, though, is going to be that we saw this $500 million trading signal that recently came out. And this $500 million trading signal showed that traders closed $500 million of ADA future contracts in the last 30 days. And people are saying, look, if you compare this to February, there was $1.5 billion on February 19th. As of March 22nd, there's $1.1 billion open interest. And people would say, look, this is just proving the fact that people are bearish on Cardano long term and that we're really in a consolidation phase. But again, if you're looking at what's going on with Cardano and you zoom out a bit, you can see that we have just been consistently rallying to new yearly highs ever since September of 2023. We've just continued to see prices continue to, rally and break out. So right now we are trading in between key resistance and key support. So the key levels are going to be between 57.5, like 58 cents per token, and right around 78 cents per token. Only reason I would be bearish in the short term is if we do see it break below that 57 cents per token range. But either way, you could still see that we've had a golden cross take place. That 50-day moving average has crossed above the 200-day moving average. Still nowhere close to having a death cross or crossing back below. So there's really nothing to be worried about, in my opinion, in terms of what's going on with Cardano's blockchain, even though we're seeing a lot of negative stories come out. The one thing I would say, though, is that, yeah, there are other layer one cryptos that have been performing better. Over the last 30 days or so, we've seen that in terms of TVL, Cardano has dropped around $100 million. It was trading around, it had around $520 million of TVL as of March 14th, and then by March 22nd, it was down to around $410 million. So yes, that's happening. That's not great, and we are seeing blockchains like Solana, DeFi grow, the TVL grow tremendously, where their TVL grow $200 million in that same 1 week period. So yeah, there may be some other blockchains that are performing better right now, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Cardano is still a project I'm extremely bullish on long term. We're still seeing countless developers build on this blockchain. We're still seeing new projects launch every single day. And while it may not have all of the meme coin frenzy that's going on with Solana right now, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still building useful projects long term. And with meme coins, we've seen cycles with those on every blockchain. Like Ethereum's had its cycle where meme coins were all the hype on Ethereum. Now we're seeing it on Solana, and it's not guaranteed that's going to stay on Solana ever with all that meme coin hype. May even move to Cardano at one point. We'll see. But now let's talk about some of the altcoin investments I've made recently, because recently I did invest into Zkasino. I talked about this over on our Twitter. We are like an investor in this project, and recently they just announced a $40 million ecosystem fund, which is something that is pretty cool. You can see right here that I have about 40 ETH on their bridge, which is currently live. This is a place where you can easily just earn Zcast tokens while we await for their chain to officially go live. There's 23 days, 21 hours, 13 minutes until the bridge closes, and then we'll see Zkasino's chain go live very soon. But seeing that this project has had a $40 million ecosystem fund recently announced, they've had $350 million Series A fund valuation. They closed their Series A at a $350 million valuation. We saw that announced recently. We've seen that they also just recently launched their bridge and already has surpassed $24 million. So this is a project that I'm extremely bullish on long term. And you guys can see, I'm not just saying this. I put my money into this project around 40 ETH, around $150,000, $160,000, and I'm just going to be continuing to earn Zcast tokens every single day. It comes out to be around 6,000 Zcasts for every 1 ETH you put in. So just do the math. That's every single day. So there's 24 days left. You're just going to earn $6,000 per ETH every single day, really until the end of this. So something that I'm definitely, excited about, and definitely excited for when they do launch their token. And last thing I do want to go over is going to be with NeuroChainAI. NeuroChainAI, symbol NCN, I did also recently invest in. It's set to have its launch of its token very, very soon on major exchanges. It's followed by some of the biggest names in the crypto space. Mario Nawfal and Fabric Crypto already follow this project over on Twitter. And with NeuroChainAI, the thing that I like about it is that it is an artificial intelligence project that's really doing something different. It's a layer 1 blockchain, and with its stats, you could already see on NCN scan, they already have over 38,000 total addresses. They have 1.91 million transactions that have taken place. You can see that this is a blockchain that has been continuing to grow very, very rapidly. And I think with all the narratives around AI in this bull market, I think a layer 1 DAI infrastructure project is something that is going to do really well. So these are just some things that I've been investing in recently, a little bit going on the overall market. So hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.